Have you ever worried about high blood pressure? Ever wanted to know how to lower it and also keep it at healthy levels? Well, stay tuned and you will find out. Hi everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Matthew Feyissa and I'm a second year medical student from East London. In this video, we are going to discuss what blood pressure is exactly, what causes it to increase, and what we can do to self-manage it and keep it at healthy, sustainable levels. Beside me are a few timestamps. Feel free to watch the video through or click to certain parts that may interest you in particular. This is basically a summary of what I'm going to be talking about today in this video. Well, firstly, let's talk about blood pressure. What is blood pressure? Blood pressure is a measure of the force required by your heart to pump blood all around your body. This pressure works hand in hand with any resistance to flow in your body, such as differing in the sizes of vessels. Vessels that are smaller will typically have a higher pressure, which can lead to an elevation in your blood pressure. To demonstrate how blood pressure works, I'm going to insert a schematic. Imagine 3 pipes, one small, one medium, and one large. All 3 pipes have to pass through the same amount of water, which is going to be 1 litre for this example. The biggest pipe would have the least amount of pressure as there is enough space for water to pass through completely nicely. However, as the pipes get smaller and the lumen gets narrower, what this would mean is that there's less space available for the same volume of water to pass through. As a result, as the pipes get smaller and the diameter gets more narrower, this would mean there's an increase in pressure. So following on from this logic, high blood pressure is any elevation in pressure away from the normal. The way I like to think of it, there's 2 forms. There's an acute form and a chronic form. The acute form, which is short term, everyone experiences. This elevation in pressure may occur during exercise or stressful situations as our heart works harder to pump blood all around our body. The second form is chronic and long-lasting. It's called hypertension. Hypertension is a medical condition where the fixed state of your heart blood pressure is elevated and higher than what is considered the national average or the normal. In terms of particular values for this, the NHS considers anything with 140/90 as very high. One of the biggest causes of hypertension is an unhealthy diet. The consumption of fatty foods may result in you becoming overweight or obese, which can then lead to the heart using more energy to pump blood around the body, which naturally is going to increase your blood pressure. To explain how hypertension occurs, I'm going to illustrate this through a diagram. If you have an unhealthy diet which is filled with fast food, it is generally going to be high in fat and high in cholesterol. This cholesterol is the development of something called an atherosclerosis plaque. This plaque is very similar to the limescale plaques you would see in your household pipes. What cholesterol does is it will stick to the sides of vessels and ultimately reduce the available space for blood to flow through. This is the same as limescale, as limescale sticks to the sides of pipes, the amount of space available for water to pass through decreases. As a result, in both instances, the plaques reduce the available space for blood or water to flow through, causing an increase in pressure as the amount of force required by the heart increases. In addition to having an unhealthy diet and consuming a lot of junk food, there are also other factors which can increase the chance of you developing hypertension in the future. Factors such as having a high salt intake and doing low exercise would do this. In addition to this, being overweight or obese or having a family history of heart conditions might make you more susceptible to developing hypertension. In addition to this, smoking or drinking a lot of alcohol would increase your blood pressure, and also other factors which you can't control, such as being of Afro-Caribbean descent. Aside from these conditions, there are hosts of risks that come with hypertension. The chance of having a heart attack would increase as cholesterol blocking arteries called the coronary arteries, which supply the heart, would occur. This would result in the amount of oxygen available to the heart decreasing, which ultimately could lead to a heart attack as the muscle is not supplied properly. In addition to this, if the vessels in the brain decrease, a stroke could occur. This is called ischemia, which is basically the narrowing of vessels. In addition to these, there are a host of other conditions which I'm going to list on the side that would increase naturally as a result of having high blood pressure. These include dementia, kidney disease, and complete heart failure. To help manage your blood pressure, regardless of whether you have hypertension or not, you can easily visit the GP, where they'll use something like this called a stethoscope, paired with a cuff, which will then be used to monitor your blood pressure. Alternatively, you could do this yourself using an electric blood pressure cuff. I haven't got one with me today, but when I'm able to get one, I'll definitely make another video illustrating how to use that properly. Using both these monitors, you'd get two values. For example, 140/90, which is indicative of hypertension. The first value, for example 140, is the systolic pressure. The systolic pressure is the pressure of the heart as it pumps blood out of it. The second value is the diastolic pressure. The diastolic pressure is the pressure of the heart as it is at rest and is filling up between beats. Regarding treatments and ways to reduce your blood pressure, there are various methods. Lifestyle changes is one of the best methods indicated by the NHS to help deal with blood pressure. Reducing your fat intake and eating more home-cooked meals over ready meals or junk food and fast food would be very beneficial in reducing the amount of cholesterol deposited in your arteries, which would ultimately increase the size of your vessels and lower your blood pressure. Furthermore, stopping the consumption of smoking altogether, paired with no alcohol consumption, would be very beneficial, as these are both primary factors in increasing your blood pressure. Paired up with both of these methods, you would also need to increase the exercise you do. If you do no exercise at all and live a sedentary lifestyle where you're sitting down most of the time, simply walking 1 kilometer each day, 2 kilometers, or on your way to the station to work would be very good, as it's a form of burning calories which you may not have already. Burning these calories would ultimately reduce your weight and reduce your chances of developing certain risks that we spoke about earlier in this video. Secondly, if you've developed hypertension already, the doctor is most likely going to put you on hypertensive drugs. What these drugs do is they help lower your heart blood pressure, however often are taken over a long period of time, sometimes for the rest of your life. Two prominent forms of medication are calcium channel blockers, such as amlodipine, and beta blockers, such as bisoprol. Both these medications, what they do is they help control the heart rate and ultimately reduce the amount of force required by the heart to pump blood around the body. Alternatively, the doctor may prescribe you drugs such as angiotensin II receptor blockers and ACE inhibitors such as ramipril, which have the combined effect of reducing your blood pressure. If your blood pressure drops too low, the doctor may reduce your dosage or may even take you off it. However, ultimately this is unlikely, as generally all the hypertensive drugs are needed in combination in order to help sustain your blood pressure at a healthy threshold. Hopefully this video proved useful in breaking down what blood pressure is, what hypertension is, and what we can do to manage it and reduce the risk of developing it. If you didn't understand certain bits of the video, please go to the description and look at the timestamps, which will help direct you to certain parts that you may have had difficulty understanding. Once again, thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and also comment down below or message me on my Instagram or Twitter to recommend certain videos that you would like me to do in the future. Thank you guys, and remember, health is wealth.
Hey. They don't call me the best when I'm grew up in the east, that's where they rule the streets, that's where they catch a case for some jewelry, I swear. If you wanna test it, you think that is sweet, I dare you to survive in the belly of the beast. I'm fearing that the likelihood that my brothers could meet their makers is high, so we're making calls to undertakers. So what's the ultimatum? Wanna live or are you baking? 18 your eyes that make you die young in an altercation.